The Locked Room, an Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Oblivion and Morrowind novel. Yana was precisely the kind of student her mentor, Camus, despised. The professional amateur. He enjoyed all the criminal types, who were his usual pupils at the stronghold. From the common burglar to the sophisticated blackmailers. Children and young people with strong career ambitions, which the art and science of lockpicking could facilitate. They are always interested in simple solutions, the easy way, but people like Yana were always looking for exceptions, possibilities, exotica. For pragmatics like Camus, it was intensely vexing. The Redguard maiden would spend hours in front of a lock, prodding at it with her wires and picks. Flirting with the key pins and driver pins, exploring the hull with a sort of casual fascination that no delinquent possesses. Long after her fellow students had opened their test locks and moved on, Yana was still playing with hers. The fact that she always opened it eventually, no matter how advanced a lock it was, irked Camus even further. "You are making things much too difficult," he would roar, boxing her ears. "Speed is of the essence, not merely technical know-how. I swear that if I put the key to the lock right in front of you, you would never get around to opening it." Yana would bear Camus' abuse philosophically. She had, after all, paid him in advance. Speed was doubtless an important factor for the picker trying to get somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, with the city guard on patrol behind him. But Yana knew it wouldn't apply to her. She merely wanted the knowledge. Camus did everything he could think of to encourage Yana to move faster. She seemed to perversely thrive on his physical and verbal blows, spending more and more time on each lock, learning its idiosyncrasies and personality. Finally, he could bear it no longer. Very late one afternoon, after Yana had dawdled over a perfectly ordinary lock, he grabbed the girl by the ear and dragged her into a room in the stronghold, far from the other students, an area they had always been forbidden to visit. The room was completely barren, except for one large crate in the centre. There were no windows, and no other doors except for the one leading in. Camus slammed his student against the crate and closed the door behind her. There was a distinct click of the lock. "This is my final test for my advanced students," he laughed behind the door. "See if you can escape." Yana smiled and began her usual slow process of massaging the lock, gaining information. After a few minutes had gone by, she heard Camus' voice again, call out from behind the door. "Perhaps I should mention that this is a test of speed. You see the crate behind you? It contains a vampire ancient who's been locked in here for many months. It's absolutely ravenous. In a few minutes' time, the sun will have completely set, and if you have not opened the door, you will be nothing but a bloodless husk." Yana considered only for a moment whether Camus was joking or not. She knew he was an evil, horrible man, but to resort to murder to teach his pupils. The moment she heard a rustling in the crate, any doubts she had were erased. Ignoring all of her usual explorations, she jammed her wire into the lock, thrust the pegs against the pressure plate, and shoved open the door. Camus stood in the hallway beyond, laughing cruelly. "Ha ha! So now you have learned the value of fast work." Yana fled from Camus' stronghold, fighting back her tears. He was certain that she would never return to his tutelage, but he considered that he had taught her, at last, a very valuable lesson. When she did return the next morning, Camus registered no surprise, but inside he was seething. I'll be leaving shortly, she explained quietly, but I believe I've developed a new type of lock, and I'd be grateful if you can give me your opinion on it. Camus shrugged and asked her to present the design. I was wondering if we might use the vampire room and install the lock. I think it would be better if I demonstrated it. Camus was dubious, but the prospect of the tiresome girl leaving at last put him in an excellent and even indulgent mood. He agreed to give her access to the room for all morning and most of the afternoon. She worked near the slumbering vampire, removing the old lock and adding her new prototype. Finally, she asked her old master to take a look. He studied the lock with an expert eye and found little to be impressed with. This is the first and only pick-proof lock, Yana explained. The only way to open it is if you have the right key. Camus scoffed and let Yana close the door, shutting him in the room. The door clicked and he began to go to work. To his dismay, the lock was much more difficult than he thought it would be. He tried all methods to force it and found that he had to resort to his hated student's method of careful and thorough exploration.
I need to leave now,
called Yana from the other side of the door.
I'm going to bring the city guard to the stronghold. I know it's against the rules, but I really think it's for the welfare of the villagers not to have a hungry vampire on the loose. It's getting dark, and even though you aren't able to unlock the door, the vampire might be less proud about using the key to escape. Remember when you said, if I put the key to the lock right in front of you, you'd still never get around to opening it?
Wait!
Camus yelled back.
I'll use the key. Where is it? You forgot to give it to me!
But there was no reply, only the sound of footfall disappearing down the corridor beyond the door. Camus began to work harder on the lock. His hands were shaking with fear. With no windows, it was impossible to tell how late it was getting to be. Was it minutes that were flying by or hours? He only knew that the vampire ancient would know. The tools could not stand very much twisting and tapping from Camus' hysterical hands. The wire snapped in the keyhole, just like a student. Camus screamed and pounded on the door, but he knew no one could possibly hear him. It was while sucking in his breath to scream again, he heard the distinct creak of the crate open behind him. The vampire ancient regarded the master locksmith with insane, hungry eyes and flew at him in a frenzy. Before Camus died, he saw it. A chain that had been placed around the vampire's neck while it had been sleeping was a key. Well guys, you have been watching me ESO and I hope you enjoyed the lock room. It was illustrated by my girlfriend as usual. Looking ahead next year, we're going to be doing a Skyrim lore series and some other interesting projects which I'm actually really excited for as well. But you know, I think I'm really happy that we did the illustrated series. I think it's like a real gem, you know, and I always wanted to do it and we always talked about it, and I think my girlfriend really did it justice on the illustration side of it, and like I'm really happy with how it turned out. Christmas Eve today guys, so I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas and New Year as well. And you know, I'm just so thankful for all the support you guys have shown the channel through thick and thin this year. I know some of you even watch videos just for the sake of watching them. If they're not necessarily what you're interested in, you know, you still watch them just to support me, and that really means the world to me, man. Especially like with issues with demonetization, the YouTube algorithm, and those of you supporting me on Patreon, you know, it just gives me a constant, you know, eye on, okay, well, you've got that much money coming in, so worst case scenario, everything's fine, you know. And I guess Patreon is the reason why we can do projects like this, because it covers, for example, my girlfriend's salary. So that's like really helpful. But looking ahead, we've also got the Skyrim mod list that did extremely well, and we've got our own modding website now for Skyrim where we've done, myself and Ultimate Immersion did a whole modding guide and EMB installation tutorial on how to mod Skyrim completely. We're going to be rolling it out for Xbox and PS4 as well in the future, but currently that's on the website. There's also one for Fallout 4 as well, I believe. And, you know, we've got lots of other things on their way next year as well, including in one for Kingdom Come Deliverance. So there's lots of cool, exciting projects to look forward to, guys. But yeah, sorry for the long outro of this video. I tried to let you guys know what's happening. And I find the closest sort of knit community watch these videos. And, you know, that's why I put it at the end. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic new year. Whatever you're doing, you know, stay focused and keep concentrated, and you will get there, guys. But thanks for all the support. Really appreciate it, as usual. And I will see you on Twitch and YouTube. Twitch, I stream a lot of other random games if you guys are interested. All these links are below, as usual. Goodbye, and have a great day.